low return potential, just to avoid realizing a loss. So how do we as investors keep these behavioral biases from undermining our investment decisions? By following 3 steps. Recognize and acknowledge that these biases exist. Understand how these biases can affect our decision-making process while investing. Understand whether our investment decisions are done objectively. That is, they are based on factual data and not emotional responses. Adopt strategies to make investment decisions free from bias. For example, plan asset allocation before investing. Review and rebalance portfolios periodically. Take help from professional advisors, and so on. Eliminate subjectivity and make investment decisions emotion-free. Happy investing! Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully. You must have heard of SIP. But are you confused about what it really means and how do you start it? Here's a quick snapshot to help you jumpstart your SIP journey. What is an SIP? A systematic investment plan, or SIP, is a smart and hassle-free tool for investing in mutual funds. It is similar to a recurring deposit where you save a fixed amount regularly for a period of time. The difference is that with SIP, you invest a fixed amount regularly in mutual fund schemes. These schemes have the potential to beat inflation and create wealth for you in the long run. Why invest through SIP? Power of compounding. An SIP, which continues for a longer period, helps you to harness the power of compounding. Small amounts invested keep adding up to create a large amount of money. Do you know that by just investing rupees 5,000 per month from the age of 25, you can create a wealth of approximately
is as good as actually the launching, the rocket. Like,
Hi. Good evening, everybody. This is Sayam from HDFC AMC, and welcome to this webinar on Change Nothing and Nothing Changes. I believe most of us in this webinar are principally people who are in client-facing roles. So you could be a mutual fund distributor, or you could be a advisor. And for myself, I'm again into mutual fund sales. And when people ask me what have you gained in last 16 odd years, then my reply is that experience is something which I have gained over the years. And talking of experience, once a wise man told me that experience is the first daughter. Wisdom is the first daughter of experience. And we have Anand with us. And speaking of Anand, he has a very diverse and interesting experience. He started his career as a lecturer, and he has been in our shoes. So he has worked in financial sales. And, there is always a difference between what they say, walking the talk and talking the talk. So Anand is somebody who has actually walked the talk. And, before taking the fun out, I will hand it over to Anand. And Anand, please, would be interested to look forward to what you have to add. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sam, and of course the entire team, those who made it this evening, welcome all. I keep actually saying all the time that the mankind or the human actually are the greatest miracles in the world. When I say the greatest miracles in the world, there's got to lots in terms of the definition, or probably if I have to define the term the miracle. Recently, I was doing a demonstration. I asked someone, do you think that we can suspend the gravity for some time, because Earth itself is actually a magnet. Everyone knows that Earth itself is a magnet. So what are the possibilities I can suspend the gravity? A falling object from top, is there a way I can hold it? I just made something fall, and of course I held it for a few minutes. It looks very funny and silly, but it is a fact. It's proven science. If Newton said at some point of time that anything which goes up has to fall down, but we, the human, are able to suspend that gravity for some time. So I'm pretty sure that now you agree that we are the greatest miracles, and that's why you have been successful today, despite the economy in the past was shut down for almost 30 to 40%. But still, you are able to give that kind of comfort to your customers who had a panicky situation. Most of them wanted to withdraw. Much more than 36,000 crores kind of mutual funds have been withdrawn. And when they looked out for the more sort of horizon and you went back to them, gave them the comfort, handled those objections, sought that appointment, and you are now ready to go ahead, offer them the new solution. Life is no normal now. What it was 6 months before, what it is 6 months later, things have changed. I've spoken to you across two different occasions in the past. One, when I've addressed you all about the power of investor psychology in the past, how it actually impacts, a human like you and me, or an investor who gives a higher weightage for the losses, but a lower weightage for the kind of gains in the past that you all learned. Similarly, when there is actually a loss, we have also understood the customer presses the panic button because the amygdala works, and no wonder it's all to do with actually the herd mentality. And this is something we have learned in the investor psychology, how the markets are driven by the sentiments of the human or the investors, but not essentially by any logical reasoning, but mostly on irrational approach. Having said that, the previous session we've also understood through the they win, you win, means to say that if in case my customer is a winner with the solution basket, what I offer to him, he's happy, he's convinced, he's so delighted. Because when we speak about the customer delight, there are as many examples that you can speak of. In fact, recently, I got a mail from Jeff Bezos. Everyone knows he's the world's richest man at Amazon. Guess why I got a mail from him? He thanked me for one reason. Imagine a CEO of such a top-notch company, right? Millions of people work with him, and of course, he's a billionaire. He had all the time to write a mail for one reason. I wrote a feedback appreciating one of his, the employees, his service manager. But for a change, I've created a first of its kind video in the YouTube that has become world famous. And I don't know that, honestly. But my intent was to tell Jeff Bezos to promote these two employees who did a great, amazing service. And he said, this is an eye-opener for many of us. Now, a 360-degree approach to financial planning and the customer delight. In case I need to connect the Amazon story to the 360-degree approach to the financial planning, it's quite evident, right? The person or the individuals like you who have been in the industry with my salutes to your experience, who can better handle your customers than you? When I speak about 360-degree approach, it's essentially to do with, we understood, it's not only that we speak the language of only the equity, but we try and empathize, understand our customers at length from the time in terms of the protection, what have they done, savings, what have they done, investments, what have they done. And towards the end, of course, we also helped out in terms of the investment categorically, in terms of asset classification. We've also understood the different investment strategies in the past, whether it could be tactical in nature, which could be strategic in nature. How is that I can guide my customer? Today's customers demand a financial planning. I've been urging many corporates, if in case you can give any one employee welfare activity or look forward, ensure there is a financial literacy. This is where I thank each one of you, my dear friends from the HDFC mutual funds. You have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of successful financial planning. We understood the model portfolios in the past. I've also taught you and also taken you through some of the tips used by, applied by, executed by the topmost of the top-notch advisors around the world. How do I retain my customers and how do I grow my customer, if you recollect, right? Because acquiring is very easy. Growing my customer and most important, retention and the growing is very, very important. So this is something which you have learned. Now today, I've come back with something amazing. By virtue of my experience in the last 20 years. As all of you know, I'm known in the industry for handling celebrity accounts. I have only gone for the cases about 2 crores and nothing less than that. I never touched the cases less than 2 crores. So why is that these celebrities have to stay in touch with me? I'm going to now share with you the 21st century secrets for sales success. Not only my sales success, as well as the proven techniques around the world by the most successful people in terms of retention and growing customers. And if so, the title for today, the program is Change Nothing and Nothing Changes. So before I move on to the next slide, I want to quickly understand from each one of you, what is your understanding by the title? Change nothing and change nothing changes. I'll repeat again, change nothing and nothing changes. What is your understanding? So you can put your views in the applet that you have or the box in terms of raising questions. So I will ask Computer Mahashai, please take me to the question box. So what is your understanding? So once again, I'll show it to you. Change nothing and nothing changes. Let me refresh this and so that we will get to see the answers. All right. Change nothing and nothing changes. So what do you understand by this? Any thoughts? Quick thoughts? All right. You're welcome to type in your inputs here. You don't have phone a friend. You don't have 50-50. You don't have an audience poll. It's only you, the respective human brain, and mile out the respective, the IFAs of HDFC mutual funds. Don't worry, you're welcome. And of course, you can put forth your views a little later too. So with your permission, now I will move on. Maybe just 1 second. All right. So what is it we learned today? The quick agenda. I've classified this into 4 different buckets, and trust me, you'll fall in love with them. I said these are going to be inputs never before. You'll be astonished towards the end of the program. Oh my God, I learned something new, and I promise you right now. Number 1 is a shift needed for success. If some of you must be thinking, you have already raised some questions in the portal there, that how can I be successful? Is there a way that I can offer the best service? How can I be unique and whatnot? What is the paradigm shift needed in the current situation post-corona? The novel coronavirus really taught us a big lesson. Number 2, the key differentiators for success.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So we have Kishore from Shimoga, Karnataka, and yes. In response to your question, he has said he understands it's something like keep upgrading and updating.
Oh, fantastic. I can see, thank you, Sam, so much. As many people actually answered here, change nothing in plan and your plan does not change. That means no growing. Vishal Tarkeshwar from Mumbai, thank you so much. And from Billai, we have Daljit Singh says we have to change to become better. Bang on. Sunit from Chandigarh says first step is to take action, initiative, and then things will automatically move. Superb. Satyadev Kumar from Hyderabad says if you don't change with time, we will not change the development. Oh my God. You are chitties, Rajinikanth, I'm telling you. Deepak Gupta from New Delhi says you have to make changes to get desired results. Chintan Dalwadi from Bhavanagar, what a powerful statement. No pain, no gain. Absolutely. Subhash Shavans from Mumbai says you need to change your business as per the changing need. If you don't change, then you might be out of business. So a small correction with your permission, Subhash. Instead of business, can we say approach? With your permission, a small correction. Swapnil Taiwade from Amaravati says without action, no reaction. Oh my God, great. And Girish Sarya from Jamnagar says, can you address in Hindi? Oh my dear sir, where need be, I would definitely take help of Mr. Sayam. You know my weakness is Hindi. I'm a South Indian. I'm very sorry that I cannot speak fluent Hindi. If I start speaking in Hindi, you'll start laughing at it. But definitely Sayam sir is there to help me. Deepti Dalal, you need to change with changing scenarios for progress, change with times, and many more answers like this. Superb, superb. And if I keep refreshing, trust me, you see that. Keep learning from Palakkad. R. Ramakrishnan, sir, I hope everything fine in Palakkad. Keep learning and move ahead. Chiranjeevi from Hyderabad, I hope it's not film actor. You remain where you are. Yes, bang on. Thank you once again. Fantastic. The shift needed for success. You almost took my words, my dear friends. The paradigm shift needed. I'm going to speak to you today. I'm going to unlock the key differentiators for success, which are timely tested, used, applied, and of course executed. And people are tasting this. If so, what is that? Next, you'll be surprised to hear there are two interesting, the mindsets which is actually impacting an individual. Between success and excellence, if you think about, and excellence and someone who's actually a failure, you're going to see the differentiators when you understand what is a typical growth mindset person would do differently. What exactly is a fixed mindset person would do differently? So between growth mindset and fixed mindset, who is the most successful? And if so, what are the reasons? I'm going to unveil them. Impacts of biases. I've been talking about the investor psychology. I've spoken about the investor biases in the past. A quick reiteration I would do. What really stops an investor to take the right decision at times? What are the biases which impacts an individual? And what is your role as a respective, the advisors to do a course correction for these individuals and put them into the right track? And the power of relationship building actually, starts from there. Next comes between the transactional and consultative selling. Often we heard and spoke about the power of consultative selling. I shall introduce today the power of consultative selling. And this is going to be Brahmastra for all of you. And believe you me, the next time when we interact, you will come back and say, Anand, it worked for us. So if so, what's the difference between transactional and consultative selling? It's a trailer. Please wait for that. Next comes the buyer's expectations. Indeed, you're also a buyer. You're also a customer. When you have expectations, your buyers also have expectations. So as all of us know, in a financial instrument and a tangible product and intangible product, like typically you buy a mobile phone, after doing so much of research, if I ask you a question, what percentage of your expectation this mobile phone has actually met? You will tell me 90%, nobody will tell me 100%. Rarely. Now think about a financial instrument. No market is straight up, no market is actually straight down. I never said this, Warren Buffett said it. Having said that, is there one single customer on this earth who is happy with his performance of the funds? Very, very tough to find one who can say 100 out of 100. So we'll understand the buyer's expectations. The VUCA world, I spoke in the first session, I spoke in the second session, I spoke in the third. Today, we shall do a quick reiteration, the power of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, how it is impacting you as a financial advisor and how it's impacting the customers. And is there a way we can find a solution, right, to overcome the situation of VUCA? Because we have to live with this, and if so, how? Advisor and customer personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something very unique once again. As you know, each one of my programs comes to you with something unique to offer. I will be introducing today the different types of customer personalities. And now, with this becomes one more astra for you. Once you know what type of customer and what kind of personality is my customer, you are able to easily align yourself. So be ready. Let's now start our journey. Here comes a very, very interesting story for all of you, Devyo, Sajjano, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. So what is the story of desert all about? You can see a gentleman, right? He is walking all alone. The story goes like this. He is stranded. He is completely lost in a desert, probably has gone out for an adventure. I'm sure all of you like adventures in life. He is also one among that individual preferred an adventure. But unfortunately, for some reason, he loses his, the map which is supposed to direct him, and the compass which never works. It got corrupted because of the strong winds, or probably for some reason. And he's now running short of the food. Whatever he had is almost completed. He checks the water bottle, only the last few drops of water left. And he knows for sure, within the next 1 or 2 hours, in case he is unable to reach some place which gives him the water, or a location where he can take some water, or some kind of borewell, or pump set, or whatever, a tap, or someone can offer him the water, he is going to die for sure. That is his state, and that is his state of mind right now. So he starts praying to God, and finally, at the far distance, he could see a thatched hut, a old hut. And to his luck, as he almost runs, he makes an attempt to run on the sand, but he can't. But still, a fast walk, and he reaches with a great difficulty the hut. And at the corner of the house, he gets to see a bottle of water. I'm sure if you were to be in the same position of the gentleman, you would have jumped, and all of us would have jumped, including me, to take the water. He does the same. He will literally jump on the water bottle, and he wants to drink the water which is over there, which is tightly lid with a cork, which is closed with a cork. So this cork, in order to ensure that the water doesn't evaporate, so that the cap and all that, the arrangements. Now, before he opens the cork, he could see, he can see as a kind of instruction which is being attached to it, which clearly says, "My dear friend, I understand that you are hungry. I understand that you're thirsty and you need the water. I understand that. But please don't drink this water." Oh my God, I'm thirsty. Well, who is this guy to tell me that I should drink the water? Now the instruction continues and say, "Pour this water into the borewell or the pump which is there right next, inside that, and you will get the fresh water." As all of you know, at a situation like this, and we all agree, we are in a dilemma. We're in a state of confusion. We're literally worried because that's a golden opportunity. Now you apply the same scenario in our real life. The customer, we at times do not understand his potential at length. He might be worth some crores, he might be worth some lakhs, but at times we end up taking small tickets because we want the revenue to be there. We want to ensure that the moment is on in terms of the business. So the message to all of us from this story, before I complete the story, number one, do not jump to conclusion. Understand your customer at length. The secret number one for high ticket closure is to probe better, know better, patience, great listening skills. Now this gentleman somehow, he convinces himself. What he does is he will pour the bottle of water into the borewell or the pump which is over there. Then he starts using that lever. Within seconds, he can see the gurgling voice of the water. Fresh water comes out of the borewell. Oh my God, unbelievable. Now, going back to the instruction is basis the science. When a borewell or a pump is not being used for quite long, you know what happens? There is an air gap. So a person who has used this before, he has given this instruction to the other person who probably expected to be there. See to that you drink the fresh water by pouring this cold water. Now, this man is so happy, so happy. He thanks all his luck. He thanks God. And then, before he moves on, there is another instruction which is hung to the lever, which says, "Now that you drank the fresh water, don't you expect the other person who is expected to be here, like you, to drink the fresh water? And if so, please fill in the bottle of water and kindly place it back with the same instruction to pour the water back before you drink the fresh water." So there's the landing message from this story. Friends, never jump to conclusion. That's number one. Two, don't be in a hurry. Three, and most important, explore. Four, probe. Learn the art of asking, the open-ended questions and the right questions and the mindful questions. Because more we ask and give the comfort to our customers, there is a high possibility they give me a better chance to go nearby. And I'm sure you all have been shopping with a lot of shops, right? You do buy groceries from someone. You buy electronics from a specific shop. You go for supermarket only for specific supermarkets, but not for all. You go to specific restaurant, but not for all restaurants. It's because you are convinced with the services. You're convinced with the way they communicate to you. You're convinced with the quality more than the price. Today, people are cautious in terms of the quality. Having said that, there cannot be a better example than Bajaj scooters. If you remember the past and the present, the Bajaj once known for manufacturing the cheapest scooters on the earth. 10 to 15,000 rupees, the scooters we used to buy and then tilt it and of course start. It used to be fun. I used to watch my father, my brother. Oh my God. We even made fun also. If Bajaj has to start an aeroplane, they have to bend it and also start. That's the kind of fun we had. But today, Bajaj manufactures one of the most expensive scooters. Do you watch the paradigm shift, my dear friends? From what it was and what it is. From a cheapest to expensive, and Indians, the world, and the people have changed from being price conscious to quality conscious. The minute they realize my advisor is a quality person, the minute they realize this gentleman empathizes me, the minute they realize that this person understands my real life scenario, the minute they realize that this person doesn't offer me solution basis his bias and his confirmation and his comfort, but he is always there to help me, support me, and he is with you. So, with that note, let's move on to something very interesting. I'm sure most of you like Ritik Roshan for many reasons. So, I'm not here to discuss definitely anything about he as a hero, but as a personality. Let me give you the background, my dear friends. Between Super 30, right, his movie, The Lost, and The War, which came in the year, the late 2019 or 20, you recollect that, right? So he gained super weight. He gained so much of weight, you could see his belly fat. And the movie, Super 30, demanded this kind of, the role where the hero or the protagonist or the mathematician is expected to put on weight, not like a typical hero gestures or looks as such. So he gained the weight. Gaining weight is very easy. Everybody knows it. But losing a weight is actually a challenge. That is a concern, isn't it? But watch this person's transformation. When he had his own, the questions in the mind, back in the mind, the movie director, along with the script of the war, the movie, approached them. Ritik was in a bad shape. Even directors couldn't believe it. But in less than 6 months, what happened? I expect and request all of you to please watch this.
Inside everyone's head, I have the best body in the world.
I just couldn't believe this is happening all over again. It was the hardest thing that I had to go through. The only person I had to blame was myself. That was my torso after Super 30.
So within the radiology reports, it says that he's got a few slip discs.
My left leg is shorter.
Yeah, naturally.
Which is why it is having a reaction in my spine. And they were giving me a month to get in shape. And I told them I will need 6. And they laughed. There was a very slim chance that we could pull this off. A little bit of hope, a little bit of fear. Let's see what happens. आज कुछ नहीं होना. Lot of fat, man. Lot of fat. Yeah. Look at that. किसी को पता ना मत. Sir. बॉडी ऐसे बनती है. बनाएगा नहीं कोई. Maybe it's too heavy for now. I'm gonna do something else. I need to prove it to my kids, to myself. Life is worth it. Music.
Won't you come and see what it's like? Living by the rules that you write.
ये कर रहा हूँ मैं सोच रहा हूँ रात को अच्छा कुछ खा के मैं सो जाऊँ.
No back in the sight. All the little lies you recite just makes all the savage unite. Usually I'm very polite.
वो feel आया मुझे.
Even when the dog being nice, every single dog gonna bite. You might think I'm wrong, but I'm right. Just let it get a strong appetite. I'ma let it breathe just a little. Give it to you strong, heavy metal. I don't make a sound when I strike. You better just run for your life.
All right, so thank you so much, and I'm sure that you loved watching this transformation in Hrithik Roshan. So quickly, I want to understand from all of you, what would the key thoughts be in his mind when the director approached him for the movie, but with the fat belly? Number two, what is the biggest differentiator? If you have to put everything in one single word, or probably of your choice, what do you think you have witnessed in Hrithik Roshan, and what made him to achieve this transformation? Devi Sajano, please go ahead and put your thoughts in the box. Let me refresh this. So what is that one thing which changed Hrithik Roshan approach? Kiri Babu, thank you. Change is inevitable. Bang on. So your thoughts, please. Go ahead and put in your thoughts. What is that one thing which transformed Hrithik Roshan from what he was into what he is? Determination. Superb. Deepthi Dalal, thank you so much, ma'am, for saying that there's a determination. Amazing. Great. What else? Determination and belief. Mr. Ramakrishnan from Palakkad. Superb. Keep going. Don't stop yourself. Determination. Pankaj Tiwari from Hisar. Sir, thank you so much for saying that. It's a determination. Beautiful. Any more thoughts? Quick. Mindset. Oh my God. All of you bang on. Bhavana, Divya, Sachano, Bhavana wins. All right. Today is Kaumeriga Brihaspati. Just on a very, very light note. And do you agree what Bhavana and all of you said? 4-5 of you quickly answered. Absolutely right. It is the mindset is the key differentiator. Right? And I'm sure somewhere at some point of time, situation would have tested you and me in the past. I will talk about that in a while. Look at that. How everything, look at this, your attitude. First and foremost, as somebody rightly said, attitude determines your altitude. You have a positive attitude that obviously will have, an impact on your behavior. If I'm positive today, the whole day that it's going to be positive. If I'm happy this morning, the whole day that I'm going to be happy this morning. You have seen the traffic police, right? I salute them. At the same time, when the temperature goes up, even their temperature goes up. I have actually a traffic police very close to my house in Bangalore, Cormangala, very close by. Every day that I drive through the road, I get to see him with a brand new shirt, probably a Super Rain, whatever the Surf Excel washed white shirt and neatly polished shoes, and he's so active in the morning. And I look at him and say, whether you had the breakfast, and he'll say, yeah, I had the breakfast, but he'll continue to, do his actions. And one day in the afternoon, I was coming back on a Sicilian day in the afternoon at 2:30. I don't know whether I made a mistake of asking him whether he had lunch. Sir, whether you had lunch? This time, I didn't see his hands moving. It was actually tied or locked it back and said, That was his reaction, right? So, and evening, for sure, it's not the hands, it's only the eyebrow movement, and all that they would do. Having said that, at times being in the world of sales, we become and behave like traffic police. First 10 calls, amazing. All the sales people said, whoever that you've spoken to, let's meet tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 1 month later, I'm not happy. Oh, yeah, and you started the day great, but after these 10 calls, you're completely, drained down. Hi, sir, good afternoon. This is Anand calling from HDFC Mutual Funds. How are you? No, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. So now the 11th call. Hi, sir, good afternoon, sir. My name is Anand calling from HDFC Mutual Funds. And, in the evening at 6 o'clock, the energy levels. Hi, sir, good afternoon. Even if the customer says that, let's discuss, I think I shall meet you tomorrow. So, you know what? The fact is, you are positive, your day is positive, your closures will be positive, your customers are positive because of law of attraction and nothing else. What you think is what you are. So having said that, attitude impacts your behavior, and the behavior actually has a direct correlation or an impact on your action, which I've already gave you an example just now. And of course, your results, It's positive or negative. I'm not talking about corona positive. I'm talking about here the business closures, positive or negative, the results, and of course, impact that will impact your performance. And everything is a circle. They have to come back at some point of time. If a performance is impacted, it's because of attitude, correct? So, Devi Sajjanu, I'm sure that all of you agree that mindset is a key factor. We watch Ritik transforming from what he was into what he is in span of 6 months. And this is a must, even in the world of sales with all of us. Having said that, I want to ask you a quick question. You can post your answers in the chat box. Can you think of any instance, any situation where you have experienced transformation? It could be any situation. Of course, you would like to highlight something on the sales front, I'll be more than happy to listen to you. A transformation, probably you felt you couldn't do this, but you made this. It can be any instance. You want to speak about your 10th standard marks card? You want to speak about your first PU, or after you joined mutual funds with HDFC, or before that you joined? You can speak your transformation quickly in the chat box. I'm more curious. All right, Computer Mahashai, please take me to the chat box. Bhavna ma'am, Pankaj Tiwari sir, Ramkrishnan, Deepthi ma'am, everyone, thank you so much. Willpower, Amrita says, winning mind, bang on. Kaushik, thank you so much, sir, from West Midnapur. Mahesh Nanda says willpower. Mahesh Chandra says self-confidence. Salutes. And Chintan, visualization. Nishan says doing what is actually needed. Absolutely. Tarun Jain from Delhi says adaptability. Chiranjeevi again. Chiranjeevi Garu, I can do this. Praveen says accept the change. Swapnil says patience. Uma Shankar says hard work. Shailesh says vision. Uma Shankar says hard work. Perseverance. Madhav. Vishal says hard work, dedication. Now, coming back to the question, once again, have you come across any such situations? Have you experienced any such situation of transformation within yourself where you felt you couldn't do this, but you made this? Oh, I'm sorry to hear this, Mr. Ramkrishnan. I have no idea the reason for your father's demise. All I can pray to God is that God gives you a lot of strength. And you know what? Taking the same case study, this morning I was addressing the group of IDFC bankers the last almost seven hours or so, you can ask me. And they do something, a similar incident. Of course, parents are the biggest strengths for the children. And one of my participants' father has been admitted to the hospital, is in a critical state because of corona. Yes. So I'm sorry to hear this. I know, Mr. Ramkrishnan, that today you made your father so proud. And he's watching you from the heavens. What a great son that I have. It is too tough to overcome the situation. I have experienced that too because I've lost my mother at some point of time. You are absolutely right. Bhavna says, Kishore Kumar, all right. So Kishore Kumar says, perfection. Okay, this is linked to the previous question. Thank you so much, Kishore, for saying that. Bhavna ma'am from Hyderabad, last year performance versus this year performance. Oh my God. Do you see that? You guys are like Chittis or Rajinikanth or maybe more than that because you track your performance. This is one of the greatest quality of amazing advisors because you track, you know, you monitor, you revisit. Typical financial planning, what you do with the customers, you revisit actually your financial growth. Beautiful. Bhavna ma'am, my salutes to you. Hungry for perfection, absolutely. Vishal sir says from Mumbai, changing jobs in pandemic, got time to reflect on myself. Did you see that? Yes. I've been watching so many such posts even in the LinkedIn. Indeed, changing jobs, Vishal sir, thank you so much once again for posting that. And of course, I get to see many posts from Ramkrishnan sir says once again, 20 years his demise made me strong. Wow. I salute you, and he's always there with you. He's your strength and he's with you, sir. Absolutely. Thank you once again for sharing this, and very, very kind of you guys have been so candid and open, like, you know, at what? All right. So here is another question for you. The differentiator for success. I promised you that I'm going to share certain key ingredients, what a most successful people like most of you are known today for imbibing these traits or attributes, which we will open for everybody. So Raj and Kishore, They are actually the IFAs for an XYZ mutual fund company or a mutual fund house. Both are very hardworking. Raj has been a good performer, but Kishore has been an outstanding performer. You can see the difference. Someone is a good performer, someone is an outstanding performer. So, what do you think some people do better than others? My question is very simple. What, according to you, some people do better other than others? If Kishore is outstanding, if so, what, according to you, is doing differently? Devyu Sajano, your answers can come in the box which is provided to you. Please go ahead. Let me refresh this. NFO performance. Wow, beautiful, sir. I think that's pertaining to the previous question. Thank you, Mr. Chintan, for saying that. So what do you think winners do better? How do you think, what are the reasons or what are the attributes? How do you think this performance or outstanding performance can happen? Not afraid of failures. Dinesh Sharma from Delhi. Wow, fantastic. You just take it and let me do this. He's as good as someone telling you, you don't know bike riding. Let me try this out. You don't know swimming. Let me jump inside the water and try it out. But you have to be careful that the kind of a collective risk most of us take on being not afraid of failures. Bang on. Smart work from Swapnil, from Kudal. Chintan Dalwadi says from Bhavnagar, passionate about work or hunger for growth. Thank you so much for saying that. Pawan sir says determination, mindset. Rajesh, understanding the real-time action. Absolutely. I'm sure, sir, all of you are Rajesh here, most of you, in case I'm not wrong. Vishal sir says going extra mile, going extra effort. Yes. Daljit Singh sir from Bhilai says self-image, self-talk, focus on others. Oh my God, beautiful, impressive. Abhilash sir says it's a mindset. Beautiful. Vinod sir says he think and act differently. And who else? Not giving up. Look at the participation. Amazing. Sunil Bhagat says not giving up. It's an intuition. It's a mindset. Someone says, from Shashikant says, to keep updating yourself. It's a passion, attitude, and focus on work. Believe you me, Sunil sir and everyone, Kaushik sir, if an intuition, right? If I start probably writing a book, and I can write a book using the words which you're sharing, because you are intellects. It's because you know things. It's because you have been on the field. It's because you understand your customers more than anybody. Bang on. Look at that. Jay Prakash, sir, self-determination, following the proper asset allocation and trustworthiness. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's just not going with only the 100% equity all the time, just because I have a confirmation, just because I'm biased about equity. It's about proper asset allocation, diversification. We spoke about it, right? Confidence levels. Thank you, friends, and everyone who spoke. Now I'm unveiling the attributes, the traits, the secrets which I promised you. What makes someone an extraordinary? What makes someone an ordinary or just a good performance? Number one is a growth mindset. And the second type of personality is the ones who have fixed mindset. Broadly, you come across these two personalities around the globe. That means someone who is extremely talented, someone who is extremely successful, there is some reason behind that. And these are the people who are great performers because they fall under the growth mindset. And the second set of personalities, you get to see them, they are on the fixed mindset. So, Devyu Sajano, let us understand who is who and what is growth mindset, what is fixed mindset. Growth mindset will say, I can learn anything I want to. Fixed mindset says, I'm either good at it or I'm not at it. I have done this demonstration even the last time too. If this is an empty water bottle, and in case I want to insert this probably into this, maybe the marker, just an example, having the cap, tight lipped, you cannot do this. If the cap is closed, believe you me, I can't insert this. And once I open this cap, I will be able to put this pen into this water bottle. Now, what is the analogy? The cap or the lid is actually our current mindset. Most people block our mind. We seal that I know everything. This is the new learning. Till the time I allow the new learning, open this mindset, allow the new learning, I will never grow. Because mind is itself a barren land. You know what? I call it a desert. It's because from time to time, if in case we don't pour the water, fertilizers, right, you will never grow crops in the barren land. Similarly, for this brain, if you don't update, as one of you rightly said, if you don't update, we can never grow. Growth mindset people, I can learn anything I want to. Fixed mindset says that I'm either good at it, I don't care. When I'm frustrated, I persevere. This is the growth mindset. And when I'm frustrated, I give up. This is the fixed mindset. When I'm frustrated, I forget it. Did you see, sir, from Palakkad, the demise of the father can let anybody down, but he's the man who came forward and said, I'm going to prove, Father, what I am. I want to challenge myself. These are the people like you who challenge yourself each day. One of you mentioned that I will look from Hyderabad, ma'am. I salute you for this powerful answer that I refer to my past performance. I look into the present. I will try to improve on that. You are a classic example for the growth mindset, and all of your examples for growth mindset. I don't like to be challenged. The fixed mindset people, they don't like to be challenged. Hey, I know everything. Why should you challenge me? When I fail, I learn. In case of fixed mindset, when I fail, I'm good. That's okay. Tell me, I try hard. You guide me. I don't mind accepting this. I would like to try hard. Tell me, I'm smart. I know everything. If you succeed, I'm inspired. And these are the people, they're willing to even share the knowledge, exchange the knowledge, and they believe in the success as a team together. If you succeed, I feel threatened. A counterpart, another IFA is doing really good. My effort and attitude determine everything. My abilities determine everything. Did you see the power of this, my friends? So now you decide, where do you fit in? I'm confident, pretty sure with the kind of answers that you gave, most of you, 99% of you, if not wrong, all of you fall into the growth mindset. That's the power of you. And I salute HDFC Mutual Fund for having amazing advisors like you. Having said that, to continue to understand more on the growth mindset people, these are the people who say, let me plan for a higher number and achieve my target. They love to accept more challenges. They love to stay in touch with, and they love to watch others succeeding. And these are the people, I will try, but I don't think it's possible. They are not willing to stretch because they don't have that self-confidence, self-belief, as you said, mindset, the transformation belief. Can I ask an achiever? If they don't know something, they don't hesitate to go up to an achiever. But the fixed mindset people, they aren't actually looking for an investment in terms of time or learning. Next comes what I could have actually done better. They always question themselves. In case that I failed, probably I must have done much better. What do you think I would have done better? Where did I go wrong? And did I miss doing something? Look at these people. All businesses are down. They just put the blame. Why your performance is low? You know what? Industry is like this. 50% economy shut. We find all excuses and reasons to say that. He's as good as, I used to go up to my father in case he asked me, why is it you scored less when I was in 10th standard? I used to give 10,000 reasons to him. All businesses are down, and I doubt we could source even assets products too. Sir, I sensibly doubt whether we could do anything. Give me some time. I'll just get back. Right? So with this, we understood the secret number 2. Number 1 is the mindset. Of course, adding up to the mindset, we understood what is the power of growth mindset. So I urge everyone, please ensure that you have imbibed the qualities of a growth mindset person. Having said that, what also stops me from growing? This is the secret number 3. Once again, a quick reiteration for all of you, though I've covered all this. Confirmation bias, anchoring bias, overconfidence, or social desirability are the blind spots. So these biases at times really stop us from growing. Confirmation, look, I just go up to my customer with a confirmation that I'm always right and I've been having a great experience. I don't get into the research. What I say is what is the final. All my past, I have dealt with only the specific fund. I've been doing good. I've been guiding good. Let me also suggest the same thing. When you speak about anchoring bias, it's clearly mentioned here. Information we receive beforehand really blocks. We don't again end up doing any kind of research. We just anchor to one thought process. Someone told this is the best, probably without even experimenting on that, we will just hook on to that. We anchor to the ideas. Example, when the markets melts, everyone's thought process, we should shift the money into the debt. This is actually stops even your customers too from growing their goals and reaching up to their goals and growing the assets. We also spoke about the goal-based investing, not the return-based investing. The minute the customer focus on the all the time returns, this is what happens. What happened? Much more than 36,000 crores have been withdrawn. Overconfidence. I know everything. Be careful. There's a scope for learning. Social desirability. What if in case, I have been doing great on this. Users being interviewed in your research might not behave the same way that would be if they're elsewhere. So I'm afraid if in case I accept more number of challenges, more number of targets, what if in case I fail? I will not be able to do better, or probably that I'll be let down in the company. I will not be able to get the rewards and recognition from HDFC mutual funds. So let me do what I'm doing right now with a comfortable conservative approach. I don't want to get into the high trends and the targets as such. We don't want to take that kind of collective risk. We don't want to really accept the new challenges. Blind spot. So blind spot is nothing but we think we know everything. Unfortunately, we don't know anything. Not being aware of our own biases. Someone like me or someone else should come and tell you that somewhere that you're wrong. Till then, we don't realize that. We don't realize we have these kind of biases. So this is the secret number 3 for all of you. Next comes the secret number 4. Devyu, Sajjanu, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most tested, tried technique by successful people around the world, especially in the world of mutual funds. Don't respond. Respond but not react. We become so impulsive at times. Before the customer gives you a call, you're already there. Sir, did you see the markets? You see the corona, what happened? So this is what I recommend you to do this, because we think if I don't call the customer and suggest him this, as per the herd mentality, we may lose the customer. Please be very careful. Never be impulsive. Don't react. But respond to the customer's objections. Customers have the birthright to ask you the questions, and you have the birthright to ask for the check. At the same time, their birthright for the questions, you have every reason you're accountable to answer them. For that, I have already given you the transitions, what is expected in terms of rational thinking, research, and of course the past data, how the markets have actually bounced back, even during the pandemic like this. Accept diversity in thoughts and also the beliefs. This is very critical and very important. In case that we are not open, right, to accept the new dimensions, new opinions of the customers, and we stick on to our own, the aspects of probably our own, the biases, then we have a challenge. There is a high possibility we will lose the customer, right? Next comes be inclusive, involve people. Where you think that you have a challenge, where you think that I need to learn something new, let's be open for learning. I've also spoken the last time, in addition to the websites that you visit, whether it could be, of course, from the HDFC mutual funds, or whether it's a value research or money control, talk about economic times, we should be investing some time and money for updating ourselves and learning from others. The secret number 4. And now comes something very, very interesting. All right. So with your permission, I'll take an example of, Jaiprakash from Madurai, sir, with your permission. Before I explain what is consultative selling, now, Mr. Jaiprakash, in this case study, that you have severe headache, right? You have severe headache, and you know what? You come up to me, I'm the doctor for you. I'm the doctor for you, and you come to me. So, doctor, I have severe headache. Now, Dr. Anand will tell this, Mr. Jaiprakash, don't worry. I will dissect your head right now and see where is the headache. Jaiprakash, sir, you heard me, right? Now, next case study, with your permission, Bhavna ma'am. Bhavna ma'am comes up to me and say, sir, I have no idea. I have severe neck pain. Somehow, I've been getting the neck pain here. I will tell Bhavna ma'am, don't worry. I'm an expert doctor. Let me dissect your neck right now and see where is the problem. So what do you do, Bhavna ma'am and Jayprakash sir? Quickly, I want your answers. I'm refreshing right now. Will you stay with me or you'll run away from me? Jayprakash sir and Bhavna ma'am. I want to dissect the neck. I want to dissect the head. What do you do? Never too late, Manoj sir. Thank you so much for answering. Amazing. Kishore Kumar from Shumaga. Thank you, sir. Mode of earning. Chiranjeevi sir, Nishant sir, everyone. So I had questions to I think Ramkrishna sir and also Jayprakash sir and also Bhavna ma'am. So by the time I'm sure that you definitely answer and say that you'll run away from me, no issues. So why I gave this example? Today's world demands consultative selling, a doctor who can be a great consultant. Instead of I telling you that I dissect your neck or dissect your the head, had I told you you have been having the neck pain, the head pain, how long? Headache, how long? All right. So do you operate on the computer? How frequently that you operate on the computer? How long you have been operating on the computer? How many hours do you operate on the computer? And is there anyone else in the family who have the same issue, the hereditary basically to check, or the genetic issues and so on? And so do you also use some kind of, the spectacles or the shades or the tested, etc., etc.? If you ask these kind of questions, obviously you will not run away from me, right? So now apply the same to the real world of sales. Gone are the days where customers expect a transactional sale. Today, they expect my advisor to be empathizing with me. My customer should be, the advisor should be asking me the right questions. My advisor should really make me experience my future. My advisor should put himself or herself in my shoes. That is nothing but the expectations of your customer. And if these expectations have to be met, that is possible only through the secret number 5 is consultative selling. So what is consultative selling? It's as good as the doctor, the second doctor who spoke to you, understanding your concern at length. We do the diagnosis. I urge, I expect and request all of you, in case you want to embrace a success, I'm sure most of you have been very successful and you want to be excellent in what you do, you must be a consultative sales individual. If so, consultative selling is a probing-based approach to sales. Rather than telling the prospects what they need, you ask prospects thought-provoking questions that help them identify their own pain points. Example, customer says, I'm thinking about my child education. So a consultative salesperson would ask, sir, don't have to worry. I'm curious to know what kind of corpus are you looking for your child education? Next, the consultative salesperson like you would ask, when exactly that you're looking for this kind of corpus? Great. A person like you would ask a question like, sir, have you ever considered even the inflation factor? A consultative salesperson would even tell them, sir, if today's cost is 20 lakhs, 10 years from now, it will cost you around 48 or 50 lakhs, considering the inflation of, let's say, 6 or 8%. Just an example. Sir, have you ever thought about it? A consultative salesperson definitely make the customer experience the future. There is a fear. One of the finest techniques which I've learned all my life is giving shock, then surprise, then of course offering the solution. Shock, surprise, solution. S to the power of 3 is nothing but consultative selling. So what is that I did just now? Speaking about inflation, I made the customer experience the future who thinks even after 10 years the cost is the same. Shock, surprise, solution. Retirement. Someone told you, sir, I think that I should think about retirement. I'm already at 40, 45. So what are the questions? A consultative salesperson would say, sir, I'm glad out of the 11% total Indian population, one among you are also one among them to think and plan about the retirement planning. Sir, had Amitabh Bachchan thought about retirement planning in the first part of the movie Bhagwan, probably second part of the movie shouldn't have been there. A consultative salesperson like you would say, sir, have you ever thought to earn a 1,000 rupee pension today, you need almost 2 lakhs of money in your account? Because the 2 lakhs, if in case it can earn 6% simple interest, can give you 12,000 per annum, translate to 1,000 rupees per month. See the power of consultative selling. But a transactional salesperson, what will you do? So thinking about retirement, I have this fantastic, the fund, sir. See the difference. So let's explore now more, right? You are the person who gains the information. You would ask the right questions to collect more information. Identify right solution. We are not in a hurry. Create a positive buying experience, because positively influenced customers can give you references of 10,000s, or rather references in thousands, and negatively influenced customer can impact you in millions, right? In lakhs. He can go ahead, put the feedback about you, your company, in the Quora, probably Moksha.com, Google, you name it, Glassdoor, OA, and all the stuff. He can influence millions, but someone who has been influenced positively by you can give you at least reference in thousands and hundreds and thousands. Gain customer attention. Next time when you say that I'm the consultant, obviously they would be more curious to know what exactly the consultant would do with me, because you behave like a doctor. You diagnose the customers, the challenges. You are not there with the product in the mind, but you are there to understand the customer needs, and the needs you are going to convert into say, I want it. And most important, that's where you have been actually successful as a consultant salesperson, not as a transactional sales individual. Builds a long-term relationship. Look at acquisition by virtue of the brand HDFC Mutual Funds. Amazing. I represent HDFC Mutual Funds, but the retention and growing, it's in your hand because you are the brand. HDFC is the first phase, and you are the biggest, and you are the person who is the bridge between HDFC Mutual Funds and also the customer. I hope I'm pretty clear with this. And now, quickly, if in case you want to understand the difference between consultative selling and normal selling, I'm inviting Brian Tracy for you, the world well-known person and who has been the most successful coach and the leadership coach and sales coach. And of course, he has got a lot of accolades and records in his, the books. Let's listen to Brian Tracy. Please watch this video.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and a question that I'm often asked in my hundreds and hundreds of sales seminars is, what's the difference between consultative selling and normal selling? Well, normal selling is often called transactional selling. It's like you go up to the newspaper stand, you buy a newspaper, you pay them a certain amount of money, and you walk away. Sometimes we call on customers and we make a sale, and they receive the product or service, and they thank you, and they pay you, and they walk away. A consultative salesperson, however, is different. A consultative salesperson sees the financial results. When I built my network of professional training facilitators worldwide, I taught them that their job is profit improvement. Their primary job is to go into a company and talk to the decision makers and find out how they can use their service to help their company to achieve or improve their financial results. So we say you are financial improvement specialists. One of the things that consultants do is when they look at their clients, they think about their clients in terms of the long term. They see their clients as friends. They see their clients as people that they will work with for months and even years in order to help them to improve their lives and work with their special qualifications. Now, how does a consultant consult? I'll often ask this question. If you hired a consultant to come into your company and the consultant sat there, how do they consult? And after a little bit of thought, people will say, well, they would ask questions. Yes, a consultant is a problem detective. What they're doing is they're asking you questions to find out if you have a problem or need that their special expertise can help you to solve. It's sort of like if you go to a doctor. The first thing that a doctor does is a complete examination. The doctor doesn't recommend a prescription or a course of treatment. The doctor asks you a lot of questions, does a lot of tests, and only then comes back with a diagnosis and says, this is what I think your situation is, and these are the alternatives that we have to deal with your situation. Consultants also provide customized versus generic solutions. Now, a customized solution means it's what we almost call a co-generated solution. The solution is generated in cooperation with the customer. We don't go in with a solution. We go in and step by step as we get to understand the needs and problems and difficulties of the client, then we start to suggest, well, perhaps we could do this, or perhaps we could do that. And the solution that they come up with is completely privatized, completely personalized to that particular company. Their calls in consultative thinking selling are far more interactive. There's about a 70% rule. We say that 70% of the work of a consultant is asking questions, and 30% or less is listening. As they go through the consulting process, they provide insights to their prospects and customers. They ask, have you ever thought of doing it this way? Or what if we were to approach it from this point of view? Or did you realize that it's now possible to achieve your goals using this method or this technology? In other words, they don't tell people what to do. They provide insights to demonstrate their expertise and to open the customer to the possibility that working with you can make a big difference. So how do you become a consultative salesperson? Many years ago, I learned this from a consultative salesperson. He said the hardest part of becoming a consultant is having the courage to call yourself a consultant. So after that, I began to practice these words. When I met with a client and I was selling financial services, investments, eventually real estate and other things. When I met with a client, I say, Mr. Prospect, please relax. I'm not here to sell you anything. I see myself more as a consultant than as a salesperson. And all I would like to do today is ask you some questions and see if we can't help you achieve your goals in a cost-effective way. Would that be okay? And always I found that people accept you at your own evaluation of yourself. If you tell the person you're a consultant, they accept you as a consultant. And then they wait to see if you perform as a consultant. And when you start to ask questions and take notes and ask follow-up questions and give the client lots of opportunity to talk about their problems and difficulties as they relate to your services, they see you as a consultant. They become wide open to accepting your advice. Now, if you want to become a consultative salesperson, you have to take action. So what is the one action that you can take immediately based on what we've just talked about in this session to become a more perceived consultant in every customer interaction? Please leave a comment below. Hello.
All right. So quickly, to summarize what Brian Tracy said, to differentiate between a consultative salesperson and a traditional salesperson, a consultative salesperson like you are prospect focused. Their concern is your concern. A traditional or a transactional salesperson is product focused. He's got always the product in the mind. I know that I'm meeting this client, I have the product already. Listening and asking questions, which could be for a wealth creation, business expansion, probably kind of leaving back an estate or a legacy creation, a success, creating an encumbrance-free asset for the family. This is what has happened when I met VVS Lakshman as a consultant, the cricketer, right? I'm sharing my own case study with you. His own close friend, who's been with him for close to almost 15 years, he's been, making him pay close to 1.5 crores, the kind of money, but with a false promise of 8% guarantee. But once Lakshman realized there is a consultant here, he started accepting my suggestions and he became close to me. It is applicable to all the respective clientele of yours. They start trusting you the minute they realize you are not the ones who's behind the targets. You are the ones who is here to help your customer achieve their goals. Because most customers, they think investment is returns, but they don't realize that investment is about achieving the goal. The returns automatically fall in place. That's actually the long-term investment that we speak. Listening and asking questions, but here using a standard sales pitch. Custom solutions, and you are always there to customize solutions as per the need. And one size fits all solution, the transactional or traditional sales approach. I have this, I will only offer this. Long-term selling relationships is something they look at, but these are the people. I will achieve my numbers for this month, next month, this quarter. That's enough. I'm least bothered. I know how to acquire new client. Right? Note the expenses for an organization in terms of acquiring is definitely pretty high. So that's one of the reasons all of you should pay a lot of attention in growing the customer. retaining the customer. All right. So the buyer's expectations, no new, you're also a buyer somewhere. You bought something. You also have expectations. Your customers also have expectations. Look, they want, the personalization. That means to say, I won't customize everything tonight. That's okay. That's where the power of financial planning matters. When you visit an approach, which I've taught you the previous session on the 360-degree approach to financial planning, I sensibly doubt whether you have any concerns being raised and these expectations gets met, obviously. And customers expect innovation in your approach. Naturally, they are no wrong. Keep pushing the limits. Think about the days when you had the Nokia mobile phone with a antenna, and today what you carry, right? An iPhone and whatnot. Customers expect data protection, obviously. And each time that you collect some information of the customer, give them a confirmation, give them a reaffirmation that, sir, this information is kept confidential and will be used only to design the fine-end solutions for you. Remember, customers expect to be treated like human, not a number. You're also a customer somewhere. So the VUCA world, which I promised you, now the secret number 6 to overcome the challenges and to be successful. Look, VUCA was there, it is there, it is going to be there. There is going to be volatility in terms of high rate of changes. There's going to be uncertainty. We are completely unclear about the present. We don't know what is going to happen. There's going to be complexity in terms of the decision-making factors. Right? Economy has been impacted. The GDP has been impacted. But does it mean it should stop you from the investments? Right? So you should be going up to the customer with the statistics of the past, how the pandemic hit, whether it's a Zika virus, Ebola virus, how the markets have actually bounced back. Right? Ambiguity, but each time when you talk to your customers, have rational approach with the proof, source. And I've already given you a lot of comfort in the previous session. Why India? Why investments in India? Ambiguity, lack of clarity, and of course the meaning of investment. You are the best person representing HDFC Mutual Fund to clarify your customer doubts on the VUCA. We are going to live with it forever, even in the future. What's the guarantee the corona may not relapse? What's the guarantee something worse than corona may not come back to us, the virus? Right? So nature is faster than human in terms of thinking. So the big difference, have a look at this, between a transactional sale and a consultative sale. There can't be any better example than this in terms of a graphical representation. A person who strongly believes consultative sales approach, look at this. They're growing, appreciating the value. And the person who believed in transactional sales, they have lost a huge opportunity. They're going to lose a big opportunity because for them it's a momentary. So ladies and gentlemen, they use such, ensure that you embrace the consultative selling approach and you watch the difference. And most important, in terms of the positive impact, when you embrace the consultative selling, what happens? If your customers, are looking out for investments and they're confused about gamut of financial products, much more than 64 financial products, and broadly, of course, sub-products, hundreds in numbers, and alternate, the investment opportunity. It could, in case they're looking at a venture capital, why not you speak about the venture capital funds? A long term or a short term, people are confused. So you need to really be able to simplify them. You might be an expert in the product, but how about your customers? And consultative selling will also help address the concerns in terms of no guarantees and outcomes of the mutual funds. It also clears the outcomes influenced by some of the factors which are the out of control. People are worried about politics, economy, pandemics. I have seen that. It's as good as, I sitting in my house in Kormangala, Bangalore, and giving a commentary about Virat Kohli. This ball, he should have hit like this. But Virat Kohli, in case he calls me to the IPL season and asks me to play the same shot, do you think I can do that? This is the world. We are the human. We are only good in giving gyan sometimes. But a reality, it's not that easy. Having said that, please note, most of your customers get carried away with these politics, economy, and pandemic. You are the best person, a rational thinker, to give them the logical reason why they should stick on, why they should continue to pay, why they should invest for long, because the goals should not suffer. And of course, you are the best person to simplify. I've already taken you through the calculations. It could be an XIRR, or an IRR. XIRR, obviously, that you would use for the irregular payments in case of an SIP, which you know very well. IRR against my outflow, what is actually my inflow? The time value of money, right? You are the best person to educate them, no one else. Offers clarity even in case the customers do not have clarity on their needs, whether it's a retirement, child education, wealth creation. You have come across many customers having exclamatories. They have money, but they don't know where to invest. This happens. This is how consultative selling skills could help you to really filter down those concerns, get in depth, probe great questions, understand the real need, and make the real need to, I want this. Of course, now come the most important the secret which I wanted to unveil. So another great secret of the most successful people before we conclude is the type of advisors. When I say type of advisors, I broadly classify them into four categories. One is a farmer. These are the people, when I say farmer, you know it, right? These are the people who are not actually afraid of the long sales cycles. I'm ready. They have patience. These typical respective sales individuals have all the patience in life, and they go to any extent to wait for the customer. Next comes the repairman. They are the technical experts who are excellent. Like a technical person, there's a problem with the AC, they come and just repair and go. Similarly, the repairman, in case of typical, the financial language, coming to your perspective, are the ones who are champions, who knows what exactly the solution for a problem. The third category could be a hunter, right? They're always in lookout. They're target oriented. And these are the people who are too determined, and they look out for new sales opportunity regularly, always on the move. All are great, including even the shopkeepers. Typically, a shopkeeper, if not this, you can take this. You go to a shop, they would at least end up selling something to you because they should open up multiple options. Sir, you don't want to buy Kashmir apple? Fine, it will cost you more. So Washington apple is costing you more, you buy this apple. So typical. You don't want this hybrid, sir, then I'll offer you this. So broadly, you can classify the advisors into four categories: farmer, repairman, hunter, and also shopkeeper. Now you may ask me a question, sir, how about customers? Indeed, your customers are also you can classify. Look at them. Drivers. These are the people who are very goal-oriented. All of you have such customers in your life, isn't it? Very specific, very goal-oriented. They don't want to really waste time. They don't want to beat around the bush, come to the point straight. Second comes analytical. They believe in numbers. XIRR. What is the XIRR? What's the IRR? What is the CAGR? What's the absolute returns? What is the annualized returns? Can you compare this? Can you adjust the inflation? These people. Third category, very amiable. They're so friendly. They value the relationship. You just start on talking about Dasara, they will go to the previous year, they'll go to the next year. They will even tell you about the dress, what they bought, how did they celebrate, what sweets they prepared. These people are amiable. Next comes expressive. They love to speak about themselves, their family a lot. But little that they concern, they show like amiable, at least they give you a lot of concerns, and they also, in case you don't carry your lunch bag, they'll offer you a lunch. But amiable, the expressive are the ones who love to speak about themselves the most. Right? So how do we match? If you have these kind of customer personality types, and if you have these kind of, the personality types of the respective advisors, the best way to match yourself, you cannot say that, look, I'm amiable, I will go with only, like a shopkeeper, I believe in actually offering multiple solutions, I will like only amiable customers. You can't survive. And you say that I'm a repairman, I know how to fix the problem in case he's having a concern in terms of market's not doing good, I will fix it immediately. You cannot just choose only analytical personalities. An expressive person, a farmer like you, who have all the patience to wait for somebody to listen to him and then go ahead with the solution, you can't say that I can't handle other customers. Similarly, hunter, who is very focused, driver like a driver, right? So you are also focused, you are goal-oriented, hunter is also, the driver is also point. You can't say that my personality is this, I'm comfortable only handling these kind of customers. No way. So the Brahmastra of a success, I'm repeating again, the Brahmastra of a success, number 5, which I'm sharing with you today, my friends, all of you should be like a chameleon. It changes the color as per the situation to save itself from the enemy. Similarly, all of you should have all the personalities being imbibed in one. You should be like Rajinikanth as per the movie Chitti, and you are the one who is expected to have all these traits, attributes, so that you can manage any type of personalities of the customers. This is the Brahmastra, right? So before I conclude, we have discussed so far, number one and most important is the power of transformation, the power of mindset, the power of growth mindset, and why we shouldn't actually be in the fixed mindset. We also understood the different biases actually which impact our learning.
Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. I just wanted to take 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
What has been my interpretation of
Yes,
your
sir.
presentation in Hindi?
Yes, sir. I will do that. I will do that.
सर ये बेसिकली क्योंकि हमारे कुछ दर्शकों ने पूछा था कि हमें हिंदी में बताया जाए, तो जो मेरी समझ आई है आनंद की प्रेजेंटेशन से, तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज हम लोग जिस काम में हैं, विच इज बेसिकली फाइनेंशियल सेलिंग, उसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है क्लाइंट सेंट्रिसिटी. अगर मैं आनंद ने जितनी भी जो बातें करी हैं, अगर मैं उनका एक निष्कर्ष निकालूं, तो अगर आप काम करोगे जहां आप क्लाइंट की जरूरत के हिसाब से सोचोगे, तो आप तरक्की करोगे. एंड एक्चुअली जो आनंद ने बोला है, ये मैंने अपनी लाइफ में भी ऑब्जर्व करा है. तो मैंने 3 मार्केट्स में काम करा है. मैंने पुणे में काम करा है, मैंने बैंगलोर में काम करा है, और मैंने दिल्ली और गुड़गांव में भी काम करा है. और आप लोगों से मैं एक फैक्ट शेयर करना चाहता हूं. मैंने देखा है जिस भी मार्केट में जो हमारे सबसे बड़े डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स हैं या जो हमारे सबसे बड़े आईएफएस हैं, उन सब में एक कॉमन क्वालिटी है, और वो ये क्वालिटी है कि वो सारे के सारे क्लाइंट सेंट्रिक हैं. तो वो उनको क्या बेचना है वो इस चीज से नहीं डिसाइड होता कि वो उनके लिए क्या अच्छा है, वो उस चीज से डिसाइड होता है कि क्लाइंट के लिए क्या अच्छा है. एंड ये जो टोटल प्रोग्राम है, इसमें सबसे पहले जब भी आप कभी किसी नए क्लाइंट से मिलते हैं, तो आनंद आपको क्या बता रहे हैं कि कंसल्टेटिव सेल्स में आप सबसे पहले जाकर उसको अपना सामान नहीं बेचते हो. सबसे पहले जाकर आप उससे उसकी जरूरत पूछते हो, उसकी समस्या पूछते हो. तो आप सबसे पहले जाकर उससे पूछिए कि सर आप ये पैसा जो इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, किस वजह से इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, क्या फाइनल इसका क्या यूज होगा. एंड 2-3 और पॉइंट्स हैं. एंड उसके बाद जब आप उसकी जरूरत समझोगे, तो फिर आप उसको जो उसके लिए बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है वो आप उसको एडवाइस कीजिए. एंड जब आप ये चीज करोगे, तो देन इट इज लाइक जैसे जो हमारे भारत की संस्कृति में लिखा है दैट आप अगर अच्छे कर्म करोगे तो अच्छा फल पाओगे. तो इवन इफ अगर क्लाइंट फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स नहीं भी समझता, वो आपकी नियत को समझेगा. तो अगर आप अच्छा काम करेंगे तो उसको पता चलेगा कि आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, वो आपको 5 और रेफरेंसेस देगा. एंड जो आपने अगर कुछ हिट लिया होगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेलिंग ए प्रोडक्ट जो उतना अच्छा रेवेन्यू नहीं दे रहा, यू विल गेन मोर देन दैट बाय गेटिंग ए हायर AUM फ्रॉम दैट सेम क्लाइंट या फिर बाकी क्लाइंट से. एंड फाइनेंशियल सेलिंग या फिर कंसल्टेटिव सेल्स जो मैंने आनंद से समझा था, इसके अंदर क्लाइंट, आज हम सारे जो लोग हैं, हम लोगों के बीच में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो है वो है ट्रस्ट. तो एक बार क्लाइंट ने आपको ट्रस्ट कर लिया, तो उसके बाद एक्चुअली आपको ज्यादा कुछ करना नहीं है. बट वो जो कड़ी है वो तभी शुरू होगी जब पहले आप क्लाइंट से उसकी प्रॉपर डिटेल्स लोगे. आप ये नहीं बोलोगे कि मैं ये बेचने आया हूं, आप उसकी जरूरत पूछोगे, और उसके बाद अपने आप वो जो अच्छे कर्म है वो अपने आप ही अच्छे फल के अंदर ट्रांसलेट हो जाएंगे. एंड आनंद ने एक और पॉइंट बोला है कि क्लाइंट सेंट्रिक तो आपको बनना ही है, बट आपको ये भी समझना है आपका क्लाइंट किस तरीके का है. तो अलग अलग तरह के क्लाइंट हैं. तो जो सबसे पहला एनालिटिकल क्लाइंट होता है, मतलब आप लोगों ने भी देखा होगा कुछ क्लाइंट्स हैं वो बोलते हैं नहीं हमें कोई मतलब नहीं कि आपसे क्या रिश्ता है, बट हमें ये बताओ इसका रिटर्न क्या है. तो आपको उसके हिसाब से डील करना है. ऐसे ही अगर कोई एमिएबल है या एक्सप्रेसिव है, तो इसका मतलब वो वैल्यू या रिलेशनशिप को ज्यादा महत्व देता है. एंड मैं आपको ये चीज बताता हूं, जैसे मैंने साउथ में भी काम करा है, मैंने नॉर्थ में भी काम करा है. तो वैसे तो हर तरह के इंसान और लोग हर रीजन में होते हैं, बट जैसे अगर आप साउथ में जाएंगे तो पीपल विल बी मोर एनालिटिकल, यू नो, दे विल आस्क फॉर रिटर्न्स. आप अगर नॉर्थ में जाओगे तो वो रिलेशनशिप वाले ज्यादा होंगे. तो आप जब क्लाइंट से मिल रहे हो तो आपको भी अपनी सोच उसके हिसाब से करनी है. लेकिन इन सबके बीच में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है क्लाइंट सेंट्रिसिटी. Anand, I think I am through with what I could,
Bang on, sir. In fact, beautifully summarized, and I'm really glad that you put this in Hindi. My weakness is Hindi. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope these are the tried and tested the techniques of the great salespeople. I have interacted with many, and out of a couple of personal experience that I have went through, then we brought it down to 1.5 hour program. I hope this program has been an eye opener. I hope you're going to implement all the learnings from here, and I wish you very all the best. And before that, we would like to take any questions in case you have in mind, and your feedback also in the chart. You have the options. You're welcome. Shashikant sir, thank you so much for your feedback. From Palakkad, Ramkrishnan sir, God give you all the strength, and thank you so much. And in fact, you are a great example. If a person is determined, what else we could do? And everyone here, all of you, those who are part of the program, tremendous patience, and you're being successful for one reason. You are in the growth mindset. I have already decided that. Swapnil sir, thank you so much. Any questions? We'll be more than happy to take. And any quick feedback? Thank you, Deepthi ma'am. Thank you so much. So your feedback means a lot, definitely. And any specific questions or area of concerns that you have, I'll be more than happy to address. So looks like I think we are through, sir. And thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Anand. It was really enlightening, and I personally benefited out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you, Anand. Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you all. Take care.